everybody, and welcome to Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today we're going to be discussing Pluto in the 4th house, and I'm just going to be sharing with you some of my ideas and thoughts relative to this placement, and just hopefully overall giving you a sense of clarity, and maybe at the end of it allowing yourself to have a lot more connection to your own soul's awareness regarding this placement. Now, before I go ahead and actually do that, I highly recommend that you watch the introduction video to this video. And the reason being is simply so that you can get a really deep and core level understanding of what Pluto through the house means, okay? And so that you can really be able to then watch this video and have all the synapses in your brain and connections make sense, so that, of course, this process of self-awareness becomes more clearer for you, okay? Fantastic. So the first thing that we have to do regarding this is to identify that if you have Pluto in Cancer or Pluto in the 4th house, this will be directly relevant to yourself. And if you have Pluto connecting to the moon, if you have Pluto opposed the moon, if you have Pluto conjunct the moon, etc., these are all the videos, or this is specific to you, okay? So unconscious emotional attachments and securities are linked with the archetype of emotional security, right? When Pluto is found in the 4th house, your soul's desires that have brought you into this incarnation is to basically teach you the fundamental need to create internal security. Your lessons are to be able to understand that every single time you rely on somebody else to facilitate any of your emotional needs, you will be in some way, shape or form brought to a crisis and a sense of emotional abandonment or betrayal or loss. And it is through that motion of understanding yourself or life through that lens do you develop the lifetime story of becoming more internally secure, so that when you are operating in your life, you are not operating from a sense of, I need somebody, codependency, basically. So it's a big thing with Pluto in the 4th house souls, is that your natural state of awareness, your natural state of understanding life in this way, is to come to this very core understanding of where your emotional security is placed. And it is through that process that you will become more internally secure and self-sustainable within yourself. And of course, you will heal yourself naturally and liberate yourself from all external attachments that are linking you to your sense of identity. Okay? So with Pluto in the 4th house, as this transit takes place, as this process takes place, you're learning to literally metamorphosize your sense of identity and your sense of security. Who you are in this lifetime is going to metamorphosize. You're going to literally transform your ego in this lifetime. And it might not necessarily be the totality of this process, but it will absolutely be a process where the way that you've identified yourself prior to this incarnation and early on will literally metamorphosize, completely different. And because Cancer Capricorn is the archetype of gender role assignments, this is also a lifetime where there will be possibly a gender switch taking place in your life, where you'll be transferring from male to female energy, and you might be in that process, you might be ending it, you might be just in the beginning, or you could also be transiting the other way around, whichever way it is. And it's either you're ending it off or you're beginning that process. So Pluto in the 4th house souls are naturally moving into a new self-identity, a new perspective. And the way that you're also obviously working through this process is also dealing with an incredible amount of feelings of loss and abandonment and betrayal. These losses of abandonment, betrayal, and sense of yeah, exactly that, are manifesting through, because, as I said before, this need to attach your emotional security to things outside of yourself. And because of the law of impermanence, in other words, everything it changes, at some point, whatever you've emotionally attached yourself to will shift, will change, and you will experience that. Okay? Now, when you were growing up, one or both of your parents weren't emotionally available for you. And what that forced you to do was to have to be able to recognize that those emotional needs that you were looking outside of yourself for were not being facilitated. And so that causes you to have to internalize those emotions to really deeply discover what is actually lurking beneath the surface within yourself. So you are exploring that need for security within. You are exploring that need to become your own nurturing mother. You are exploring that need to understand how to facilitate your sense of physical and emotional stability from within. And you'll be challenged with all types of things, like going so deep within yourself that you can actually cause experiences of depression or bouts of depression, which is just deep inner reflection. So whenever you do go into those motions, whenever you do go into those spaces, you're really trying to connect with yourself in a way that is so incredibly profound and so incredibly deep that to express it outwardly can sometimes not be understood because it's so core. So it's really important to find a partner that is really nurturing, that is really protective, that is really secure within themselves, so that when you are in that space, you can offer that sense of, I need support to help me out of this process. Another thing that will be naturally associated with this placement is that you will gravitate towards people that are that you had when you were a younger person. So your father or your mother might become the partner in your life again, because you're seeking to find that mother and father again. You could actually attract a partner into your life that will draw that same situation into your life, where they'll give you that sense of security, but it's again existential, and you never really be able to get internal security, and they lack that need to nurture yourself. So be careful of that process of drawing it back into your life, okay? So a big story with Pluto in the 4th house can be a very challenging aspect. All right? Okay, I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope that it brought you some clarity on how to deal with that process in that sense. If you're interested in booking a reading with myself, please hit the Simon Forster website, which is in the description below, and just come over to my site and book a service or a reading with me. And it will be really interesting to be able to discuss this with you and hopefully shed some more light in how to take this process a lot further and allow you to develop that sense of emotional resilience and vulnerability that it is that your soul is seeking on a very deep level. Okay. That's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. As I said, please hit the like and subscribe button, and of course share this with anybody that you feel will aid them in that way. Great. Take care. Bye-bye.